Hello students, this video goes with Unit 3, Lesson 1, Interior Angles of Triangles. This lesson is about the interior or inside angles of a triangle. And the rule that we're studying with this lesson is that the sum of the three interior angles in any triangle is 180 degrees. So knowing that if we add up all the angles in any triangle, the angles that are on the inside of the triangle, and we get 180 degrees every time we add those up, we can work out problems where we know two of the angles measures and we can find the third angle measure. So this is our first problem we're going to look at. The measure of angle S is 29.1 degrees and the measure of angle R is 80 degrees. So we have two of the interior angles in a triangle. We have one that's 29.1 and the other one is 80. And now they're asking which of the following must be the measure of angle Q. So we're looking for angle Q in order to form triangle QRF. So I've created a triangle and these measurements are not going to be exact, but that happens a lot of times when you see sketches or diagrams in geometry. So it tells me angle R is 80 degrees. This one looks like it might be about 80 degrees. So I'm going to name that angle R. And then it says angle S is 29.1. I really don't have one that's 29.1, but we're going to call this angle S. So this one is 29.1 and this one is 80. What I'm looking for is angle Q, which is up here at the top. So I'm looking for this angle right here. I know that angle R plus S plus Q equals 180 degrees. So that means 80 plus 29.1 plus Q equals 180 degrees. So if I add together the 80 and the 29.1, I get 109.1 plus Q equals 180. So what I've done is I've set up an equation where I can solve for the variable Q or the angle Q. So I get 109.1 plus Q equals 180, and I need to subtract 109.1 from both sides, just like when we were solving our equations before. These cancel out. Q is going to equal 70.9 degrees. 180 minus 109.1, 180 minus 110 is 70. And then if I take another, if I add the 0.9 to that, that's 70.9. So my answer would be answer choice D. So that's how we would figure out the third angle measure in a triangle if we know two of them. So number 2 actually draws out the triangle for us. So angle F is 122 degrees. Angle E is 32 degrees. And we need to find angle D right here. So we can set up an equation again. 122 plus 32 plus angle D equals 180. 122 plus 32, so I'm going to combine like terms here. That's going to be 154 plus angle D equals 180. I need to subtract 154 from both sides. D is going to equal, let's see, 180 minus 50, 150 is 30, and then take away 4 more, and that's going to be 26 degrees. So, you've probably figured out by now, if I just add these two and then subtract from 180, that's going to always give me that third angle, and that would work. So add the 122 and the 32, and then subtract from 180, and that'll give you that last angle. So you might also see problems like this where they don't actually give you angle measures, but what they do is they give you expressions for each angle measure, and we know that if we add up all three of those, that we still get 180. So if we add the 7x minus 2 and the 4x and the 5x minus 10 and set that equal to 180 degrees, then we will be able to solve for x. So when we solve for x, that doesn't give us the angle measures, but then we can plug that x back in. Let me show you how that works. So what I would do is I would set up my equation as, let me get my colors here, 7x minus 2 plus 4x, which is this one right here, plus, and then 5x minus 10 equals 180. So all three of the angles together, the red one, the orange one, and the green one, equal 180. So then what I can do is I can combine like terms and solve the equation to find out what x equals. That doesn't give me angle measures, but I'll show you how you figure out how to get those. So let's see, let me highlight some things here so we can start adding. I have a 7x, a 4x, and a 5x that I can combine. So let's do that first. So 7x plus 4x plus 5x is going to be, grab my drawing tool, is going to be 16x. And then I've got a -2 and a -10, and that's going to be minus 12. And that equals 180. Okay, let's add 12 to both sides. So 16x equals, that's going to be 192. So divide by 16 on both sides and you get x equals 12. That is not one of the angle measures. To get the angle measures, you have to go back over here and put a 12 in where the x is. So for angle A, x is 12 and it's 4x. So angle A is 4 times 12 or 48 degrees. Okay, angle B was 7x minus 2. So we'll do this without writing it all over here. I'll write it over here. Angle B would be 7 times 12 minus 2. 7 times 12 is 84, minus 2 is 82. And we'll double check our math when we get all these angle measures and make sure they add up to 180. And then angle C was 5x minus 10. That is 5 times 12 minus 10. 5 times 12 is 60. Minus 10 is 50. All right, so let's add 50 plus 48 plus 2. That's 100 plus 80. So they do check out. They all add up to 180 degrees. So that looks like we did that correctly. So at this point, I would encourage you to pause the video and try number 4. And I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to go ahead and work this out. And then, so after you work it out, if you want to come back and check your answer, you can. Okay, so hopefully you took the time to solve number 4. We had 3x plus 5x minus 2 plus 18x equals 180. I combined the 3x, the 5x, and the 18x, got 26x, minus 2 equals 180. I added 2 to both sides, and then I divided by 26, and I got x equals 7. And then I went back over here and plugged in x for each one. For D, it was 3 times 7 is 21. For E, it was 18 times 7 is 126. And for F, it was 5 times 7 minus 2, and that's 33. And I added all of them together just to make sure they all added up to 180.